Assuming Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i has become the presidential candidate of the opposition, and that the people of Kenya have unanimously accepted him, who should this gentleman pick as a running mate for his candidate? First of all, I have to admit it here or state it here categorically that when I look at the opposition, none of those people can be a running mate to Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Why? Character-wise, Matiang'i is a tough-headed guy. You cannot bring another tough-headed Gachagua to work with him. It will be the same case with William Ruto. That Matiang'i is tough-headed. You cannot bring Martha Karua the same case with Ruto. Matiang'i is a bit calm as well. You cannot work with Eugene Wamalwa. Matiang'i is a bit calm. He cannot work with none other than Kalonzo Musyoka. And Kalonzo Musyoka is senior. So these people, the only option they have, it is basically for them to decide to be heroes by making Matiang'i their project. They really campaign for him, support him if they all want to change this country. As simple as that. As they have promised to shelve their ambitions and leave the other to go ahead, that's the only option they have. But being candidates for deputy president, I don't think so. But one thing I have to recognize, Matiang'i has to be very smart on selecting the person to become the deputy president. The first reason I want to say here, it is this. Numbers, funding, and of course commitment of regions matters when it comes to the presidency. So if you give them the deputy president seat, they're able to deliver for you. That's very important. And according to my analysis, I feel that the deputy president of Dr. Okengo Fred Matiang'i must come from the mountain region. And therefore in this video, I want to take you through on who is this person who is going to be the deputy president of Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Number one in my list, it is none other than Ndindi Nyoro.
Budget is not the one we read. This is the hard truth. The budget of Kenya is called exchequer. The budget is not the one we read. The one we read remains there. When you have a country where there is a discrepancy between what you budget for and how much you can raise as revenue. So what we budget for is not the budget. What you fund is the budget.
Why am I saying Ndindi Nyoro? This is the current member of parliament of Kiharu. Ndindi Nyoro was last year, that is 23-24 financial year, it was the top performing member of parliament and the second in the 24-25th year of the financial year. So it was number two. That consistency of performing well, it is what we need in the presidency. Someone able to deliver. So combining the performance of Matiang'i and the performance of Ndindi Nyoro, an amazing combination. Put aside the fact that it can be William Ruto's mole. Let us just bring him now as Ndindi Nyoro. And then Matiang'i to do the campaigns. Then Ndindi Nyoro also to do the campaigns. Therefore, Ndindi Nyoro can be a good factor to bring on board. Number two, Ndindi Nyoro is a great mobilizer as well. We cannot overrule the fact that he is a mobilizer. He can be able to campaign, he can be able to speak to the people, and the mountain people accept him across. That means he can be a very good candidate he can be a very good candidate with Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't also forget that Ndindi Nyoro is a youth. Being a youth, he'll be able to attract the youthful population in the country, that at least we have a performer who is representing us on the deputy presidency. Based on the killings that occurred on 25th June 2024, at least we've been represented. Our voice has been heard by a presidential candidate. So therefore, Matiang'i having Ndindi Nyoro, it's critical. Also, we cannot forget the fact that Ndindi Nyoro is a national figure. There's a time was projected to replace Rigathi Gachagua. He was moving the choppers across the country, donating 1 million for a fundraiser. Of course, questions were there, where did this guy get the money? But the fact is, it's a national figure. Ndindi Nyoro is a national figure. It's a national figure. Considering he's accepted from Mount Kenya to propel him to the country, it's important. It's important. This guy is strong, and in terms of economy, people believe he understands. So therefore, as Matiang'i brings the administrative nature of him to government, we also need to see the economic nature of Ndindi Nyoro in government. So as a result, we are going to have a formidable team to change this country. Also, I want to say that we can have the second person on board from Mount Kenya, PK, that is Peter Kenneth.
Now, if a farmer he's being given fake fertilizer. And then he's being taxed when that fertilizer he has to pay for and cannot help in his production. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And the people who are concerned with this fertilizer, fake fertilizer, should actually make what you would say a normal call and quit. It's an embarrassment.
Peter Kenneth, he was actually also a member of parliament of Gatanga, if I'm not wrong. During his time, he was the best performing member of parliament. So when it comes to performance, he's also top-notch. He's top-notch. Therefore, him with Matiang'i, they can form a very good ticket, Secondly, Peter Kenneth somehow, despite not being a youth, there's a way he attracts the youths of this country. People feel like he's a good leader, represents them a lot. So therefore, he can also attract the youths to his side. We all know the youth, being a youth, first of all, it's a lifestyle. Dress well, speak well, do things well, be smart, the youth will be on your side. Also, you have what you call the national figure. This gentleman went for presidency, we remember very well. But he was beaten by Uhuru Kenyatta and the others. So therefore, Peter Kenneth coming on board, he has the experience of the national campaign. Remember, he did campaigns himself with his chop across the country. So therefore, having Peter Kenneth is crucial. It's crucial. Also, he's from Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya will bring numbers. If he's accepted by Mount Kenya people, then expect 7 million on board. With Rigathi Gachagua on the grassroots, at the grassroots campaigning, expect 7 million or 8 at the doorstep. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is very critical. That is very critical. My candidate number 3, it's Wamuchomba.
Because I still don't understand how you come to Kiambu County. My land is worth 300 million. You want me to hand you over this land without any form of agreement between you, the off-taker, and the owner. And you bring in a foreigner, and you want maybe that foreigner to be the contractor and the person to sell off these houses and take over the management of these houses in posterity. What is my role as the owner of that land?
Among the top performing members of parliament you have in the country, it's Wamuchomba. It's so amazing that out of the top 5, at least 2 are coming from Mount Kenya. That is Wamuchomba and Ndindi Nyoro. That is important. So Wamuchomba is a member of parliament currently of Githunguri, and she's performing very well. She's loved by the people of Githunguri. She's a lady of a stand. She's an iron lady, the person replacing Mother Karua. Why am I saying so? Because this lady, she has been having a stand. When Gachagua went wrong by the time he was working with William Ruto, she had a stand and told Gachagua and William Ruto, this one we don't want, including the finance bill 2023 and finance bill 2024.
For the last 2 years when he was in power, he didn't carry himself in a pleasant way that would appeal to most members to support him. He was a bit too abrasive. His language was a bit too off-key. His conduct was sometimes off the radar.
When Rigathi Gachagua threatened her, she did not bow. She stuck with the decision that the finance bill 2023 was not good for Kenya. And I feel strongly that Rigathi Gachagua needs to have this lady on her side. This issue of ignoring her, it is not good. She'll be re-elected whether they like it or not, whether she's in DCP or not. Why? Because she's a very smart lady. But of course, she can get to DCP and get still elected. Ladies and gentlemen, Wamuchomba, we cannot not forget that. So performance-wise, she's good. She's bringing performance, and she's bringing good performance to Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Also, by the virtue of being a lady, by virtue of being a lady, she's bringing the lady population on board. And if she's strong enough to campaign and bring ladies than Mother Karua, it's going to be important that Wamuchomba is going to be a very nice ticket with Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Very nice ticket. She's very courageous and strong, and she can do politics. She's an orator, and that means she can be able to help Matiang'i a lot. Also, she's also from Mount Kenya. If she comes on board and brings the Mount Kenya votes, that's a great ticket because she'll bring more than 5 million votes on board. I don't know what you think as far as this analysis I've done is concerned, but in the comment section, kindly share with me and tell me whether those could be the best people to have on board. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time for more videos. But remember, I've done that video with the mentality that all these people in opposition have the idea that they want this country to change to a better side. And therefore they shelf their ambitions and support Matiang'i. See you next time.